Local agents and a brand trusted nationwide. We are Farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Hello, and tell me you feel a little bit better today. You know, outside it's still really gray, but you know what? It's a beautiful day. Sports 56 Happy Hour is on air. We've had middays with Greg and Eli. We've had Peter and CJ tearing up the airwaves. And we got me and Gabe Kuhn about to take care of you for the next 2 hours. We have some great guests lined up. Y'all know my good friend down from Mississippi, John Luke McCord. He will join us at the bottom of the hour. We're going to rap about all kinds of stuff going on in the football world and what's going around, basically just with life, I guess. It is a very interesting world that we have found ourselves in. Now, I also want to open up with a few things. You know, we have the leadoff. My man Gabe Kuhn works his tail off. Follow him at G_Kuhn71. Out of all the people that I have worked with, I love my man CJ. I love my man Gabe. I love David Cobb. And, heck, I miss my man Mac Trammell, Drew Barrett. I've worked with some really, really good people in my entire life, and I think you should follow them all. Rack City Zach. But I will tell you one thing. I love having Gabe over there on the other line, on the other side, so I can rap with him, because some of the things that are going on, I need a person who was there recently. And some of the things that we're going to talk about today have to do with, of course, baseball and the MLB draft, but then, of course, football and what's going on and some of the things that have been said around locker rooms. There's been a few things that have had people very, very upset. Dabo Swinney's been in the news. The NCAA, they can't get good news. So we're going to try to take all of this, put it into one little bitty shot, and we're going to drink that bad boy during happy hour. And you know what? You're going to get done with that shot, and you're going to be like, dang, I'm a genius. 2 hours of listening to your show, and I know it all. So we're about to get to it. But before we do, I want to say thank you very much to one very, very important person, and that's Chad Gatlin. We're about to get to the leadoff, but I wanted to say something very important. We have talked about just basically like plasma. We've talked about all the things that you can do to make the world better today. We, go out and do this or that. But I want to talk to you about something you can do to make your life and your family safe. Y'all know I live downtown. I had a situation where and by the way, shout out to Service Pro. I had a situation where it wasn't my fault. My insurance company was there to back me. Put it this way. They said that they were going to fix everything. Service Pro came out there and rechecked everything after they, quote, fixed everything. And then they found out there was like 90% water here, 90% water there. I mean, it was an absolute disaster. $38,000 extra. And if I did not have him as my insurance agent to come down there and physically look at the situation and say, no, this isn't right, or this is not right, they would have shorted me $38,000 in damages. Think about that. Gabe, have you ever thought about that? You saw some of my pictures. How bad was it?
Bad. Very bad.
I mean, and they're
seeping
telling
through
me
the
to
paint in the
move back.
walls.
They want me to move back in after they, quote, say they fix it. So, again, I'm telling you right now, out of all the things in this world, I believe in everybody that I bring on this, from Bill Bell to Chad Gatlin to Brian Elder. All these people have done me right. That's why I bring them to you. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you really want an insurance agent who is going to have your back, just go to MemphisFarmers.com. MemphisFarmers.com. Talk to Chad Gatlin. Get auto, home, life. Get if you lose your job, get life insurance. There's so many things that you need to do, but the one thing that's so important is, can you imagine calling 901-235-1176 and actually getting a human being instead of whoa, I just burped. Do you know what I'm talking about, though? What do you usually get? Hello, my name is... No, it sounds like a human at first. I don't even do it very well.
This call may be recorded for intensive purposes.
Yes, it's good.
Press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish.
Beep. And then they come and talk Spanish. I don't know anything they say. Have you ever
Oh,
tried
wrong button. Got to hang up. Got to start this thing over.
But see, that's the thing about MemphisFarmers.com. Because when you call 901-235-1176, you don't have to do any of that. You literally get a human being. And that is one of my favorite things about Memphis Farmers. That's my favorite thing about Farmers Insurance. And they came down there and they dropped the hammer. And I literally was almost in tears today. Gabe can tell you this. I've been dealing with this for what? Since the 22nd? It has been a nightmare. I mean, I've been living in a hotel from COVID-19, so it was my renter. But Farmers Insurance, they came in there and made things right. I am back. I'm home. They have fixed everything. And, buddy, let me tell you a secret. I'm actually going to come out with some money on top. You know what I mean? And that's called pain and suffering because, believe me, it was pain and suffering. So thank you, and MemphisFarmers.com. Thank you for giving us the lead off.
Came in and spilled the beans this morning, huh?
Got
a lot going on. Got a lot going on personally, huh?
Oh, you know I do.
Yeah, I hear you. Now I want to start here. Very interesting thing coming out of Minnesota. Dalvin Cook is preparing to hold out if the Vikings do not give him a new contract. Now, we've seen the running back value dwindling, and you never know how betting on yourself can go. You see Melvin Gordon, he tried last year, failed miserably, to be completely honest.
Miserably.
Zeke Elliott tried, succeeded. Derrick Henry is still looking for a deal. Le'Veon Bell got signed for $52 million. He bet on himself, got the money, but now he plays for a team that's not going to contend for a championship. And I just want to ask you, are running backs undervalued, and will Dalvin Cook himself get his contract?
Nope. Let me tell you something. Out of all the things in this world, we undervalue our firefighters. We undervalue our police officers. And right now in America, right now, you're thinking to yourself, how in the hell are you going to say that? Could you imagine if actually police officers didn't graduate from high school or couldn't get their GED, and instead of doing a 12-week course and getting a gun and a badge, they went and got like a master's degree or did 139 weeks of service? They'd be getting paid a lot of money, and we would care about them. So again, what I'm trying to say is the people that are most important, other than quarterbacks in this country and a-hole presidents who don't deserve their money, who actually gets what they deserve? Because presidents are overpaid. CEOs are overpaid. CFOs are overpaid. Running backs, they're like your, I hate to say this, they're the janitor. Do you know what I mean by that? No. They clean the floors. They make sure that the building is beautiful so everybody can come in and work. Now, the offensive line, they're the big uglies. The wide receivers, they're running routes. They're sexy. They're solid steel and sex appeal. Quarterback is just the man. And the running back is just the dude who has to hit that line and hit that line and hit that line and take abuse on his body year in and year out. And not since Sweetness when I was a child. Not since Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, super great running backs. We treat the running back position like we treat, honestly, man, unfortunately, we treat the running back like they're nothing. And I think every single owner, other than this year, which is funny because Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are getting in so much trouble because of his. I think Zeke Elliott's the only one that got actually paid on point. Now, Todd Gurley, you're going to say, John, he got paid more. Yeah, I don't think Todd actually needed all that money with the injuries. So, if I was a running back, I would say with this. NFL, one finger in the air, and I just don't care.
So with the changing offensive schemes in the NFL, obviously running backs, I agree with some of the fact of, okay, they have dwindling value.
They do.
But when you look at some of the guys who have not gotten contracts yet, you look at Derrick Henry, did everything for that team last year, led the league in rushing, and he can't even convince them to give them a contract over Ryan Tannehill. And you say, okay, well, he's hit the hole this many times. He averages 4 yards a carry on this many attempts. How long can that be sustained?
Did you know the longest
I don't know.
NFL was
I have
last
no
year?
idea how long that can be sustained. But what I do know is when I watched the Titans last year, when I watched the Vikings last year, their quarterbacks didn't have to do anything. There was a game Kirk Cousins won where he threw 8 passes. So I just think there's an interesting sort of foil here that we got to look at when we're talking about value of the running back. I think some deserve their money. Some don't.
Can I ask you something, though? How many, even with the Titans, you can go back and use that one organization. You can look at Derrick Henry and how they're treating him. You can look at how they treated Eddie George. You can go back to San Diego and see about LT and the way they did LaDainian Tomlinson. And, yes, he took his money because he wanted to stay there. And, yes, it wasn't quite the highest paid. He was happy with what it was. But there's no reason that he actually should have just kind of accepted what he was getting. I mean, Phillip Rivers every single year made more than LT. That was absolutely ridiculous when LT was the man of the team. Look, I like Mike Vrabel at Tennessee. I like the people at Tennessee. I think Vrabel actually knows that Tannehill, his success depends on Derrick Henry. I don't think they let Derrick Henry go after this year.
It's bizarre. It's a bizarre situation, though, because they're looking at it. They say, okay, let me give him his franchise tag and see what he does this year, see if he slows down at all. If he slows down at all, that's their immediate excuse not to give him a big contract.
And by the way, Carlos Hyde is screwed.
It's interesting. Now, okay, you want to talk to Carlos Hyde. Here he talks to Carlos Hyde. Yesterday, he said that the NFL needs to start someplace. He says the NFL can start by signing Colin Kaepernick back.
Yeah.
Now, this was his first comments to reporters since signing his deal with Seattle last month. Said, I think if they sign Cap back, that will show that they're really trying to move in a different direction, because Cap was making a statement 4 years ago about what's going on in today's world, and the NFL didn't bother to listen to him then. So I think they should start by doing that. After that, I'm not really sure what the NFL can do. One, thoughts on this statement, and two, what are the chances that Colin Kaepernick does get another chance?
0. They'll give him an opportunity to maybe work out. Can I ask you something, Gabe Kuhn? 3 years you're away from the sport. You think you're going to be able to go and play it at the level that you did when you left? Really?
And he wasn't playing all that well when he left.
How many games did he win in 2 years? 4? What was it? Had more interceptions. Dude, let me just tell you something. Colin Kaepernick, if you want to make this right, I love him. He got $10 million for what happened. I've already literally come on these airwaves and cried about my mistake almost, because I did not realize that racism was as prevalent in this country as it still is. And again, I'm not trying to tell anybody. I've had people who have texted me and say, I'm not a racist. Why are you telling me how to feel? And again, I'm not talking to all of you people out there who don't have racist tendencies or racist feelings. I am trying to speak to those out there and the reality of the situation. With what happened with Colin Kaepernick, that's BS. Even Roger Goodell, basically, without using his name, if you read between the lines, came out and said it was such BS. But Cap playing again in the National Football League? You got Trevor Lawrence and have you looked at the college quarterbacks coming back? Have you looked at Patrick Mahomes? And have you looked at just Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott and Tom Brady's in Tampa, and you got, dude, the quarterback position is okay, and I hate to say this, Cap's been out 3 years. No chance in hell. So if the NFL ever wanted to do something to say thank you and I'm sorry, do you know what they do? They give him an honorary bust, and they put him as a trailblazer in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, here's where I'm at with this. Now, I think he's been off for 3 years. That's saying something. He wasn't so great when he left. Right? I understand that. I understand that. I understand that completely. But compare him to Nathan Peterman. Compare him to Mike Glennon. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he will get a chance to come back.
Mike Glennon has a hell of a lot better. He reads the ball and he throws the ball a hell of a lot faster. Other than Byron Leftwich, the only quarterback in the history of that ever started more than 21 games. Nobody had a longer release than Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick has a way better track record than Mike Glennon and the Nathan Peterman.
Now, can I ask you a question? He had one of the best linebackers from Ole Miss. What's up, Patrick Willis? What's up, Patrick? I don't play no games. He had Vernon Davis and VD. He had Michael Crabtree. You don't play no games with me, Michael Crabtree.
He had Navarro Bowman on defense. He had Alden Smith,
Justin Smith before he got kicked out of the lead. Look, that team was so diz-ope. And remember, Alex Smith. Like, Harbaugh took out Alex Smith, who was a good quarterback, to put in this young kid to run this amazing offense. And then he runs into his brother. You know what? They lose in the Super Bowl. It happens. Colin Kaepernick was great for what he was great for. But if people actually think that Colin Kaepernick can come and play quarterback from the pocket, Gabe, I love you, man, but you're an offensive lineman then, because Cap don't play from the pocket, homie.
Never said he did, but my point here is you look at my point. My point here is look at some of the backup quarterbacks that they continually give chances.
And he's already said he won't be a backup. Hold on,
now,
I got it right here.
Now, okay, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. He can't control that. What I'm trying to say is, in this situation, when you look at some of the backups in this league, it's tough.
I will not accept less than $20 million a year, and I will not be a backup. Tell me what team's going to give a guy who hasn't played in 3 years.
They probably won't. You're arguing things with me. I'm just trying to tell you, talent-wise.
He will never play again.
Okay, I know. I'm not saying he will. I never said he did. I'm just telling you, talent-wise, he's better than some of the backups in the league.
I don't think that. I disagree with that. Just because
Nathan
he was
Peterman.
3 years ago. Do you think he's actually realistically been working out and playing football? And by the way, where is Nathan Peterman? He's a third-string quarterback, and is he still on a team?
He was on a team as lately as last year.
Okay, I want to ask you something real quick.
He started in the league.
I want you to ask. I just want you to answer me a question. I'm just going to go through QBs really simple. This year, 2019, just going to go with these quarterbacks. Tell me who Dak Prescott is going to take over and take their job. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson.
You know who their backup?
Tom Brady.
You know who their backup was?
Yeah,
by the way,
they don't do anything.
In for the Cowboys last year, it was
right
Cooper
here.
Rush.
Yeah, it's Cooper Rush.
I'm just trying to say, some of the backups in this league are not very good. Colin Kaepernick has more talent.
Anything under than $20 million. So basically, do you not understand what I'm saying? Why
no one's going to take him for that price tag as a backup. I understand that completely.
So what's the conversation?
I'm just making a point of the fact that he's better than a lot of these backups and third strings in the league.
Okay, so you're saying he's better than
he has a better track record.
He's better than Jameis Winston?
I never said that.
He's a backup.
I never said that.
Listen.
I said that some of these backups and third strings in the league.
I want you to tell me what backup quarterback he's better with, because Teddy
Mike
Bridgewater,
Glennon.
Nick Mulligan. Okay.
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon makes
Nathan Peterman.
$665,000.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they should pay him $20 million. I'm just trying to point out the fact that talent-wise, he's on par with some of the backups and third strings in the league. Now, if he hasn't been working out, that's going to be tough. But I'm just trying to make the point. I'm just trying to make the point.
Nick Foles and what's his name's a backup. And dude, Carson Wentz could go to Chicago and still couldn't win a damn extra game than my homie right now, that sorry quarterback out of North Carolina who was moved up. They Chicago Bears moved up to Mitch Trubisky. I didn't want to say his name, by the way. Sorry. Mitch Trubisky is you know what? and if we really want to call this guy a quarterback, it's almost scary. Cam Newton doesn't have a job. Can I ask you a question? Are you going to pick Cam Newton or are you going to pick Colin Kaepernick?
Cam Newton.
So how is Colin Kaepernick one of the top 4 quarterbacks in the country? Kaepernick doesn't have a job. There's tons of quarterbacks.
You know why he doesn't have a job.
Jameis Winston's making
But you know why he doesn't have a job.
Who, Kaepernick?
Yes.
Yeah, I know why he does, but it's been 3 years.
I'm just trying to point out, again, just pointing out the fact that the talent was there and he should never have been out of the league based on talent.
And this is what I'm trying to say. So if the NFL wants to be real, giving Colin Kaepernick at this point an opportunity to come back and play after you screwed him for 3 years, that's not realistically fair to Colin Kaepernick. His best years are behind. It's kind of like Muhammad Ali. It's kind of like all these players who had to leave to go to war. You take their best years away from them, and then you want them to go back to improve something. Look, Muhammad Ali did. I don't think Colin Kaepernick can do the same thing. There's not very many people cut from the same cloth as Muhammad Ali. And as much as I love him, I just want Colin Kaepernick to get a big old huge afro bust. I want it huge. I want him kneeling, and I want a picture in the Hall of Fame that says, hey, we woke up a bunch of people who thought change. I mean, in all honesty, we love Dan Marino. How many Super Bowls he win?
Zilch.
Who did more than for the NFL? Dan Marino is a better quarterback, but who did more for the NFL?
Fair enough. Now moving on, NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace. He's the only black full-time driver. He says Confederate flags at events need to be done away with. Also, you look across the country, and Clemson players, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Watson, really, really damn good players in the NFL now too, are petitioning the University of Clemson to
Dabo
change the
messed up.
honors college from John C. Calhoun to something else. John C. Calhoun was the VP under John Quincy Adams. He owned slaves, and he called slavery a positive good.
Yes.
Have we gotten to a point now where we need to look differently and rethink how we look back at our country's history?
Can I ask you a question? Do you understand why we have history? It's to learn from it. If you see the mistakes of your past, why do you want to ignore them? Why would you want to put something that strikes fear in another human being? I had no idea that Nathan Bedford Forrest had a statue in Memphis, Tennessee. And you know what? I live right down the street from it. CJ showed it to me. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was full of it. And then when I saw it, I thought to myself, man, that's crazy. And then you have people who want to say, oh, you're trying to change history. What are you talking about? I can read all the books. I know what happened in the Civil War. Are you joking? I read a lot of history. You ever seen the History Channel? There's all kinds of things. But down in the South, they set up all of these monuments. And if you actually go back and read history, Jim Crow laws, lynchings in Mississippi, what they did in the South, it was an intimidation factor. So yes, in 2020, my man at NASCAR, and I talked about this yesterday, and I don't think anybody even know what the hell I was talking about because I was talking NASCAR. But what NASCAR did at Atlanta Motor Speedways last weekend was something that's sad because I don't believe could ever happen in front of a crowd. And this is America. And I want Americans to love all Americans. And I honestly, you can laugh at me, you can hate me. I want us all to love each other. Seriously, wake up and love thy neighbor. Dude pisses you off, you can get in a fight with him, beat the tar out of him. And then after that, you might be his best friend. Who knows? I'm just saying, but there's no reason to literally hate somebody unless they do something to you. And let me tell you a secret about those statues. Look at their history. Their history is so dark. And the fact that even the Army is considering changing Fort Bragg and other situations, we are literally at a point in our history in this country to where we're going to finally say that, you know what? We are all equal. All, every one of us. Man, woman, child, adult, transgender, gay, whatever. I don't care. Just people are all created equal, and they're going to get there. At least they're going to be treated fairly. And I'm glad for it. And I think that NASCAR probably, and I hate saying this, is the most racist of all. And especially just listening to my man. He said it was by far the most racist. Do you know what? Can I ask you a question, Gabe? If you went into a and you played football for the University of Memphis, and you had many players that played with you. When somebody said some horrible things from the stands, did you notice it?
Yep.
It hurt, right?
Yep.
Did it bother you and make you uncomfortable?
Yes.
How do you think it made them feel? The ones that were actually dark-skinned or brown or Mexican or black or African or any whatever, that the white man who's holding up this thing. And again, I'm not trying to hold everybody accountable for anything. And you can say, oh, look at John, he's talking this or that. I am asking for everybody just to stop. Breathe. Take 2 seconds. Quit fighting. Hey, I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. And realize that we're all Americans. We love sports. We love Michael Jordan. We love LeBron James. I want to see Giannis. I want to see all this stuff. NASCAR has a man who is the only African-American person who rides in NASCAR. And you know what he said? Every single time he goes to race, he sees over 150 to 200 Confederate flags. And do you know what he says? Because if you saw it, do you know how many times his kids have watched him race, or his mother? He does not let them come to the race. I want you to think about that. Just think about what I said. I love you. I am a professional racer, but I don't want my family to come watch me because I don't feel like you're going to be comfortable in the crowd just because of the color of your skin. That is what I'm trying to explain to you people. We are realistically, I'm not calling any of you a racist. I'm not calling anybody a bad person. All I'm saying is, please, people, wake up and pretend that history is not real. And let's just deal with it. Look at each other and love each other. Put our arms around each other and say, hey, we're going to move past this, and we will never again let skin color be the measure of a man's character. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
For 95 years, Saia LTL Freight has hit the road to deliver the goods that keep businesses and communities moving. Now, in this uncertain time, we won't stop going that extra mile, because at the end of the day, we are all in this together for the long haul. Saia LTL Freight, driving stability, safety, support, and strength. Visit Saia.com. That's SAIA.com.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gifts for Dad. From now until Father's Day, you'll save big on the classic Carhartt K87 short sleeve tee. Get 2 for $25. Frontier carries every color they make, including this year's brand new colors. All sizes are in stock and on sale, small to 4X. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off too. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains, and has a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force at 25% off. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Wrangler, Carhartt, and Ariat. Every pair of khakis, jeans, dungarees, and even FR workwear, $5 off. All Carhartt shorts are 25% off too. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontier has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Gateway Tire and Service Centers has a beautiful new state-of-the-art location at 5275 Summer Avenue. And for the entire month of June, the new location on Summer has a great Father's Day special. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th at no charge. Visit the new Gateway Tire and Service Center with 28 bays for quick service, super safe with curbside service or lounge seating 6 feet apart. Check out gatewaytireservice.com for coupons too. The new Gateway Tire and Service Center, 5275 Summer Avenue. Call Matt for details. 901-683-8335.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why.
How? Don't ask why. I love you. I love all of you. And I want to remind every single one of y'all that while we're out here doing our thing, people are out there doing their thing. And I just want everybody to know that I'm about to talk with the man, John Luke McCord, about football. Me and Gabe Kuhn got in a very, very, I think, interesting discussion about basically the quarterback position. And we talked about Colin Kaepernick because he has become such a lightning rod with the situation that's going on with George Floyd, with Ahmaud Arbery, with just everything that's going on in this country. And yes, Roger Goodell has come out and said things, but I want to ask a college man, and that's John Luke McCord, to look at, Trevor Lawrence and Jamie Newman and Justin Fields, and heck, my man Kellen Mond over at Texas A&M. Maybe KJ Costello at Mississippi State under my man who loves to throw the hell out of the ball and is a lawyer. And holy cow, I can't believe I forgot his name. Gabe, help me out because
KJ Costello's coach?
Mississippi State's coach. Who
Mike
is it?
Leach.
Mike Leach. Why couldn't I think of the dead gum Leach? Mike Leach. That was about to make me crazy. Have you ever just tried to look for something in your brain you couldn't find it?
Yeah, I got hit in the head a few times playing football. It happens
Dude,
to me every
doesn't
once
it
in a while.
Suck?
Yeah.
But it's like Sam Ellinger, who's at Texas. I can't believe I couldn't think of Mike Leach. But anyway, I'm about to talk Mike Leach, and basically we talk about Lane Kiffin with John Luke McCord. So it's funny I forgot his name. But anyway, I'm looking around at all these young quarterbacks, and we're talking about Colin Kaepernick. We're talking about an older Drew Brees. We've talked about Tom Brady down there. Then we have these young guys in Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes. And I want to know from a guy like John Luke McCord, before I get into Mississippi. John, what's up?
What up?
Dude,
Glad
I want to
be on
know.
with you guys today.
God, I just love you, John. I'm just so glad that you're on today. And I honestly want to know this. And I want to know, from a straight feeling. I made a suggestion. Gabe's made a few suggestions. I don't know if 3 years away from the game that you could go back there and be actually a competent quarterback. I think Colin Kaepernick's days have come and gone. I think with Trevor Lawrence and the Justin Fields and the young guys that are out there. I mean, heck, Jake Fromm stinks, and he's also a racist, and he's also going to have to deal with that in Buffalo. He's not that great. Yes, Colin Kaepernick is probably better. But is Colin Kaepernick, like he said, going to take $650,000? No. He wants a $20 million contract. Nobody's going to give that to a backup. And I want to ask you, is that crazy to try to ask for, now that this thing is going on with the George Floyd, with all these things that are going on? You have the owner, you have the, my man Roger Goodell come out and talk about how horrible the NFL has been with racism. Do you think that opens any door for Colin? Because I don't think that opens any door except for an opportunity to maybe put a bust in the Hall of Fame for what he did off the field.
This is obviously it's something that I really, after seeing the other day, the NFL came out and basically said, we were wrong about, sort of the way that all was handled with his protests and such. And look, I think there is a window for Colin Kaepernick
really?
back in the NFL here. I really do. And I don't
Gabe
know if that's
wants to punch me, and he
curiosity.
should.
What's that now?
I said Gabe wants to punch him, and he should.
I think there's a window for him to get back. Obviously the contract and the asking is there, but $20 million. I think there are other backup quarterbacks around the league that are certainly overpaid with contracts in that range. And so,
do you think if he dropped it to 10, do you think he'd get back in the league?
Here's what I think hurts him, Johnny. Here's what this is the point I think that hurts him. There were a few teams that he was close to dealing with, a few teams he was close to signing with, and we'd heard the deal where potentially there was some sabotage on his end of actually did he want to be signed at that point with the NFL still in contention.
Because they had that suit going. Yeah,
and he had Nike in his back. Was able to get that deal done, and he knew he didn't have to be in the NFL. The deal with the Ravens, especially, I think, is a situation where sort of the last minute. Obviously, the owner had the issue with the signing there, but I think a lot of that had come from Kaepernick's end, and so I wonder if those dealings had lost some respect. Not the issue that he was protesting,
but belief
not
that
the
he
way
really
he handled
wants
it,
to be a
but
quarterback.
the way he handled some dealings. What now?
But the belief that he really wants to play football instead of being a
martyr.
I
don't know how strongly he wants to be an NFL quarterback. I just think I think if there's a position, I think an area of the country that would make. I think at this point he's about furthering his message, and he has been for some time. And so I do think that that's going to play into it heavily. But I think, is there a window? Is there a crack? Is there an opportunity? I do. I do think it's not as bad for a team to sign him. I think they would feel like fans would support that, again, especially considering the area of the country he would be signed. But again, you're right. The most important factor may end up being here, does he ultimately want to play in the NFL and put on a jersey again?
Well, see, this is the one thing that I didn't even mention to Gabe, which is probably unfair because CJ knows this. Early on, when Colin Kaepernick started doing this, and I've admitted I was completely wrong. I was saying that Colin Kaepernick cares more about being a martyr and making social change than being a quarterback right now. Patrick Willis was gone. They went to the Super Bowl. The team stunk in San Francisco. Like, he has made his money. I was just basically saying that he's basically looking at the reality of the situation. I'm going to go this way and do my thing. And I thought it was, I personally thought it was a calculated and very smart move by Colin Kaepernick. I mean,
Yeah.
how many people do you know can become a martyr in a place like the National Football League when everything is, going so well? And a guy who also played in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it was a big opportunity, and I do realistically believe that Colin Kaepernick decided at one point that, hey, you know what? The NFL is a very hard job. I get hit really, really hard.
Yeah.
I work really, really hard. I take an amazing beating, but you know what? Now I've played in a Super Bowl. I have an amazing platform, and I really believe that Colin Kaepernick decided I don't want to be a quarterback anymore. I want to be somebody who is a messenger. And maybe I'm wrong, but I
Yeah.
just think that 3
Well,
years ago he decided that quarterbacking wasn't realistically what he wanted to do. He wanted to change.
Well, how many of this, and it oftentimes is hard to draw parallels to actual real life and things. But how many of us spend, time in our 20s doing a job that maybe shapes us for the job we were meant to, get later in our 30s,
Yeah.
40s. And so becoming a quarterback, a lot of those same traits have carried over into, what he does with social activism. You could definitely see that. And so in a lot of ways, I guess being an NFL quarterback, being a leader, being in those locker rooms of diversity, prepared him. So either way, yeah, again, a sliver of a window potentially. Wouldn't mind seeing him back, but again, I think you're absolutely right.
But do
I
you think
that,
he could actually make a difference like he did back in the day? I mean, he led the 49ers to the Super Bowl. See, that's where I think he knows that he wouldn't make it and he would fail. He'd go to a bad team. And if he
Yeah.
wants to continue to get his message out,
Well,
like, I really think he's already moved into that. He is now he is a
would
person.
definitely be a backup. And so what potential does a backup give you? You seem
Nothing.
the backup give you great potential with Philadelphia. It seems to give you no potential most times. So you're right. I mean, again, and that seems to be honestly in the time he was sort of fading from the league, something he wasn't interested in doing either. So maybe he's a guy that hangs around as a free agent, gets picked up at some point in the season again. It's very slim window, I think, any way you look at it. But I think obviously his relation with the NFL, and therefore if Roger Goodell stuffed up and said it, I think then you could say with some of those owners too, is much better. So,
Well-
but either way, I think he's going to remain in the position he's been in for some time, and then good for him.
I think he is too, but I want
you
to bring
mentioned
this
it a
up.
minute
'Cause-
ago.
Go ahead.
The ability to get the NFL to say no, we were wrong, you're right, is a powerful thing.
Dude, yeah, to have Roger Goodell go out in his living room and do what he did and put that out on social media, that was huge. But this is something I want to get back to because we bring you on to talk college football, and I realistically want to know, do people think KJ Costello is realistically going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the country just because of Mike Leach?
I mean, depends. Well, when you ask the fan in Mississippi that, just look what colors they're
Dude,
wearing.
I'm not
and you'll
asking the
get your
fan. I'm
answer.
looking right now at CBS Sports. They have the top 8 quarterbacks for next year's draft.
Yeah.
Guess who they have for? KJ Costello.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Look, the whole deal we talked about John Rice Plumlee popping up in these off-season conversations and graphics and countdowns and lists. I think it's a confusing time for everybody, and it's a limited off-season. I think this season more than any, we're going to see a lot of shakeups that maybe fans didn't expect. Fans aren't going to necessarily be able to recite
Is
the depth chart when they
Mississippi
had to-
State going to surprise people?
Potentially, but I think only in a negative way. I think any surprise in the positive would be a major surprise. If this team, were to reel off 7-8 wins, I think, big surprise for Mike Leach. He didn't do that in year 1 or 2 at Washington State. And there are a lot of pieces he has to fit. Obviously he picked up a receiver, a graduate transfer from Alabama yesterday. And so I think that receiving core, I told you guys last week, I think it continues to improve. But again, I think you have to look at that quarterback room in totality of, what this season could be. I don't know that KJ Costello is the guy every snap for 12 games, every meaningful snap for 12 games, I should say. And so, look, I think if Mississippi State surprises people, it'll be because they dip below maybe that 4 or 5 threshold. And I don't think this is a team that gets to 7. I think this is a team that right there at 5 or 6 is.
So you
where
like
I
the
was
under
at.
in the win projections? It sounds like.
Yeah, I lean towards that because this is a team. Look, there are going to be a lot of holes in this team defensively. And this is a team that there was no issues for many teams down the stretch passing the football against that team. The pass rush, I think, is going the opposite direction of good. Obviously the secondary lost a starter here in recent weeks. I mean, at corner, and one of their more promising players there too. So I think it's going to be a lot of Marcus Murphy they count on in that secondary. I think it's going to be tough. There's not a ton of depth defensively, and in this league, I mean, of course, Mike Leach is going to score a lot of points, but that was the one thing about Mike Leach envisioning him in the SEC. Well, it's like, obviously there's going to be some SEC athletes for him to go get, and there's going to be some left behind by the previous coach. But defensively, this is a team that was rebuilding, whether Joe Moorhead or the ghost of Dan Mullen was coming back to coach.
Joe Moorhead, what a joke. But I will say this. I want to just remind something. I am a fan of my man David Shaw. I think he's a good football coach.
Oh, yeah.
But if Mike Leach can take a 65% percentage completion passer who threw 11 interceptions, 29 touchdowns. It was very, in my opinion, average in that Stanford, offense was, somewhat accurate, overthrew a lot, had somewhat, I thought, of a weak arm. The biggest problem that I saw with Costello, I've never seen a quarterback with work like his footwork was out of whack on every single damn throw. If
the release is too slow,
but that's because of the footwork. Look where his feet are. You can't release the football when you have no base, and that's what I'm talking about. If they can teach KJ Costello to how to get a bottom base, if Leach can set him and to improve his basically his bottom part of his body, I think his release is going to improve like tenfold. But
here's the deal. It's going to be a quick passing offense. They're going to snap it and get the throw out quickly.
So he's going to have to fix his footwork.
Passing, yeah. Because and within a crowded pocket, because that's another position we talked about. Mississippi State lost a starter a couple weeks back along the offensive line, a 3-year guy, right tackle Stuart Reese, and so that position is rebuilding, and so that's a tough deal too. That's a tough ask of KJ Costello. So anything you look at with him has to be singular, because I think certainly he's good, and I think that again, average or whatever, but it just depends on what Mike Leach is going to be asking him, and if he does improve that footwork, you would think the release might quicken up, but it has to, because SEC defensive linemen are going to have no trouble with this offensive line. So again, Mississippi State, I think they've got some really, really nice pieces. Of course, Kylan Hill is a huge playmaker. To get him to come back, that's massive. I think he wants to show NFL teams he can catch out of the backfield. I think he'll have a lot of opportunities.
That'll help with Costello, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Having that security blanket right there. And they've got some guys that are bigger that can be over the middle of the field where it's going to be open to. And so, but I like what they can do. But again, this is a team that if you just assume they're going to roll Mike Leach dice out there and score 47 every week, it's not. I don't know that it's going to play out like that every week. They've still got some pieces to build, and I think sustaining drives is going to be more difficult than you might assume.
All right, now we've talked a lot about Mississippi State. I got to go to break, but I got to ask you because I think this is very important. I have not seen Gus Malzahn come out in love with the quarterback like he has Bo Nix since the guy he said was going to win the Heisman Trophy and Jeremy Jeffries. That was, if you know, that dude did not even play the next year. Do you think Bo Nix, Gus Malzahn said that before Bo Nix leaves Auburn, he's going to win a national championship, man. Am I on drugs, or is Gus?
The pedigree, man. He's in love with the pedigree. I think Bo Nix is certainly, I think he's a quality quarterback, and he's got potential to be really, really nice. I think that, does he remind you of an Aaron Murray a little bit? Maybe a guy that was a little bit smaller, played well as a freshman. Murray obviously had a much better freshman season numbers-wise, but I think Gus is also potentially optimistic about the pieces he's going to put around him. I think you would have to guess there too. But again, that's a lot of hype. And I mean, Jeremy Johnson, certainly a spring game All-American, but he never quite made that connection in the game. And so they were thinking about another guy that was long and lanky from South Alabama when they signed him, and Jameis Winston back in the day. So, but again, I think Bo Nix is going to play well, but I think you got to look around the SEC. Is it going to allow Bo Nix to win a national championship during his career? I don't know.
And then last but not least, because I really got to go before the big man beats me, Georgia, have they lost their mind, or has Kirby Smart actually figured it? I mean, you got Jamie Newman, you got Carson Beck, you got my homie coming in from USC. Do they have too many quarterbacks on their damn roster like they did a few years ago when they lost the best one to Ohio State?
I don't know.
I mean, Justin Fields would look good in a Georgia uniform right now, wouldn't
look
he?
at the guy that got committed, Brock Vandagriff, too. So, I mean,
and Brock, I forgot about him. Damn.
Yeah, they're stacking them together. But Carson Beck may be a guy that leads this program, but I think you have to look and say Newman's going to play this year.
Do you think Newman really going to start?
JT Daniels next year,
Ooh.
And then down the road, Brock Vandagriff potentially, if he stays around in the program, they don't find someone better.
Do you think Brock will stay
for
3 years and sit?
Look, that's way too far down the line, I think, to say. But I think Kirby is certainly trying to do what Nick Saban has done at that position, which is stack, stack, stack. And certainly at the end of the day, you should end up with at least one left behind. It's really good.
Hey, John, I could talk to you all day long. I love you, brother. I want you to be safe out there. Seriously, you give some of the best literally, college football information in the world, period. And I don't care who you are or where you are in this world. If you can hear my voice, check out John Luke McCord. Give him a follow. Dude, don't play no games. He's the real deal, Holyfield. John Luke, tell him about what are you working on, John Luke? Anything good?
Look, we are just covering athletes getting underway with voluntary workouts on the State and Ole Miss side of things. So look, check thejournal.com. Check out Ole Miss, Mississippi
and don't
State
forget JL Grinding.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out
JL
Grinding.
For sure.
Yeah, if you check out JL Grinding on Twitter and at DJ Journal now, Northeast Mississippi Daily Journal, you're going to be in a perfect spot. And I promise you one thing: you'll know everything about Southeastern Conference football and everything in the state of Mississippi, from Mike Leach to our good buddy. I don't even know what you say about Lane. Tennessee fans probably hate me whenever I bring up Lane Kiffin, but hey, I love all of y'all. We'll be back. Hey, John, thank you so much. Have a blessed one. We'll talk later, and I'll talk to you next Tuesday. That's my man, John Luke. And always remember one thing. If you want to get straight and you want your life to be right, what do you have to do? BrianElderRoofing.com. Why? Because let me tell you a little secret. Your home. I've already been flooded. It sucks. You don't want it. But you know what? If you don't live in a condo and you live in a home, go to BrianElderRoofing.com. That's BrianElderRoofing.com. Chris Price is hooked up with Brian Elder. They're the real deal Holyfield. They're going to take care of you, and it's very simple. 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. And I promise you, nobody in this world will give you better service, a better roof, and they will be around from the end to the beginning of time. That's 867-0303. They will measure your roof from outer space. That's Brian Elder Roofing Solutions. Now, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
It's R&R on Sports.
The word is out about R&R on Sports, where you've heard interviews from
Ken Griffith Jr., Dr. J, Hank Aaron, and many, many more.
R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1.
Don't miss us.
We saved serious cash with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the money to buy a new boat.
Who's ready to water ski?
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough for a new boat. They'll probably spend it on rent or gas money or maybe one of those little plastic wading pools for the yard.
Ahoy there!
Is what the captain might say. On the toy boat. In your wading pool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Though we're apart these days, we're sharing more. So, at Geico, we'd like to say thanks. Thanks for sharing your savage dance moves. Thanks for sharing your DIY haircut fails. Thanks for sharing your inner lip sync star. Now, it's our turn to share with the Geico Give Back, a 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies for current and new customers. Because we're committed for the long haul, the 15% credit lasts your full policy term. Visit geico.com/giveback for more info and eligibility.
Trade Pros. Ferguson is committed to making business with us the easiest part of your day. Ferguson.com is designed to help run your business from the office to the job site by making your day-to-day activities easier with 24/7 account access, unmatched online inventory, and on-the-go account management. And with our Pro Plus customer loyalty program, you can earn points with every online purchase, redeemable for merchandise, event tickets, trips, and more. Sign up today at Ferguson.com.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
The landscape is so beautiful at Town Village Audubon Park. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
I love everybody. Sports 56 Happy Hour. We're back. It's Johnny Radio. I got my best friend in the world, Gabe Kuhn, on the other side hanging out with me. And I'm going to tell you something. We are rapping. We are rolling. We are talking about all kinds of things going on. MLB baseball. Oh, my goodness. Do you think they're going to actually get themselves together? Maybe, maybe not. No, I don't believe it. I'm sorry. The MLB stuff that they put out today, I wanted to remind every one of you, it is BS. And within 24 hours, 6 p.m. tomorrow on June 10th, you will have the Major League Baseball Network. You'll have ESPN. You'll have probably R.J. Anderson. You'll have Jeff Passan, Keith, heck, you'll have Farnsworth. You'll have everybody and their grandmother talking about these players. But I just want to remind all of y'all one thing. And one of the sickest things that I found out today from doing hard work, and I mean hard investigation, that there is a team right now who's planning on punting. And you're like, what do you mean? They're planning on taking players they know that will not sign because they don't want to give $100,000 to them in a signing bonus. I don't know how to explain this to you. If you're a Major League Baseball organization and you have gone from a 40-round marathon draft to a 5-round draft, you have cut 29.5, I can round it up to $30 million from 30 teams. By the way, just so you know, that's 30 teams that have now lost $30 million. Not lost. They're actually owners who want to keep it, and they don't want to spend it on young players. And they're going to cut 40 minor league teams. I want you to think about what I'm saying and how many jobs are lost in this. So we talk about the economy. We talk about the market. We talk about COVID-19, whether you believe it or whether you don't. You see it, you can't. We talk about all this stuff. But the one thing that I can say is at least football is getting ready to get back on the field. At least basketball has figured out something. Baseball is going tomorrow to cut their draft from 40 to 5 rounds. They still haven't got on the field. If they're not on the field on July 4th, baseball, I just want you to know, I've already said this, you will die. And I will say, last but not least, just my me reading your mind and everybody else's mind. Do you know who's now going to have the 3rd first-round pick for 3 years in a row? The Detroit Tigers. It's the first time in history a team's had 3 opportunity the very first pick. Did you know they took Spencer Tolson 2 years ago? They took him also last year, and he went and signed with them. Well, this year, he's done with college, so he has to sign whoever takes him. Detroit has the first pick. How much money you want to bet they take him?
So it would be the 3 times in a row they've taken with their first pick the same guy.
Yep, and he was also.
I would love to see it.
But how mad is he going to be? He had $1 million signing bonus last year. Today by MLB, they are only giving $100,000. Think about that. He just lost $900,000. Oh, I know all y'all laugh. Y'all think this world is crazy. I'm just telling you the truth. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Giannis. We're going to talk about LeBron and Kawhi. We're going to talk about basketball. And, oh, yeah, we got guests. Don't ever forget that. We got Gabe Kuhn to figure everything out and Hardwood. So whatever you do, don't think about it. Don't even touch it. This is Sports 56, 96.1, and your very good friend, 87.7 FM.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Family Leisure's here to make staying at home more enjoyable for you and your family this summer. Complete pool packages starting at $15.99. 24-foot pools only $19.99. 4-person spas starting at $19.99. Swim spas starting at under $10,000. We are offering contactless purchasing, deliveries, and curbside pickup. Give us a call to schedule an appointment or to place an order. Stay safe with Family Leisure.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gifts for Dad. From now until Father's Day, you'll save big on the classic Carhartt K87 short sleeve tee. Get 2 for $25. Frontier carries every color they make, including this year's brand new colors. All sizes are in stock and on sale, small to 4X. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off too. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains, and has a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force at 25% off. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Wrangler, Carhartt, and Ariat. Every pair of khakis, jeans, dungarees, and even FR workwear, $5 off. All Carhartt shorts are 25% off too. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontier has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here. Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the only man to give death a near Johnny experience, Johnny Harden.
I want you to light me up like a Christmas tree. You know why? Because I got something that I want to expose and explain to you. Because a lot of people out there are texting me and saying, baseball shouldn't be 40 rounds. Oh, 5 is all that's needed. Blah, 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 blah. All this stuff. But again, I want to explain a lot to you. But first, I want to welcome you back into Sports 56 Happy Hour. I love you. This is Johnny Radio. Gabe Cooney likes you. I don't know if he loves you, but follow him at G_Coon71. He's a big bad man. I would say I love him. Because if not, he might put you in a little pretzel and then that'd be the end of you. But we're going to sit here and we're going to wrap. Hit us up at 67129. That's 67129 on the text line. If you haven't ever joined, 56JOIN. It's very, very simple. Do it, and I promise you'll be so glad you did. It'll freak you out. But we are going to talk about something that I think is so important. Heck, I don't even know how to explain this, to be honest with you. It is it has to do with $1.852 billion over a 10-year decade. And it also has to do with, and again, I want you to hear what I just said, $1.852 billion. That's a 370% increase in the last decade. And I want you to understand who I'm talking about. Oh, it's probably MLB. Now, if you can take your franchise that you bought, that was at one point in 2010, the most expensive. The New York Yankees were worth $491 million. They're worth $3 billion. Again, the Seattle Mariners, who stink, they're worth almost $2 billion. Think about the Astros, who are cheaters. They're worth $3 billion. Look at what I'm talking about. Over the last decade, the owners have had a 370% increase in their salaries. Gabe Kuhn, I want to ask you a question. What do you think the players have gotten? Because it looks big. It looks huge.
I'm gonna guess
370%
somewhere
for the
between
owners.
5 and 10%.
Actually, it was a lot better. They did 40%.
Oh, 40%.
Yes.
That's way high.
It is a lot higher than I thought.
Wow,
But
I'm impressed.
They the owners over the last decade have given a 40% increase to their players. And by the way, let me tell you something. You know why? Because nobody has a stronger Tony Clark, Major League Baseball Players Association. Nobody is stronger. That's true. That's just a fact. But the fact that they had a 40% increase over a decade when the owners had a 370% increase, do you see what I'm saying?
Open up the books.
You have 1,952 baseball players on
Open
average
up
year.
the books.
You have. Do you know how many owners are in baseball?
30.
Yep.
Open up the books.
Thank you very much. They won't do that, though. They won't do that to save their life. So I brought this up because there's a lot of people who are texting me about how Bryce Harper and Blake Snell and all these people are horrible. But again, could you imagine you bought something and you paid something like, let's just be easy, $491 million. And literally 1 decade later, you could sell it for $2 billion. Now, there are only a few people in the world that can do this. But again, an average of a 370% increase, I want to ask you a small question. Where else has that ever been seen in human history? Do you know?
I do not.
I can only tell you 2 places. Major League Baseball and oil. OPEC, once they dropped the stuff and raised the barrels. But you know what? That didn't even last very long because now they're flooding the market and barrels of oil is almost free. But that was also a decade ago. So what I'm just trying to say is, people, look, stop. Just quit getting mad at Ronald Acuna. Quit getting mad at Blake Snell. Quit getting mad. By the way, did you see the Andrew McCutchen hate yesterday for putting LOL at a 75% prorated salary? He puts LOL. There was like 20, at least of the most awful thing. After about 20, I couldn't read anymore. I was like, how can you talk to another
look,
human being?
I will say this. You have to stay out of, for the most part, Twitter comments.
They're
comments,
horrible.
that's the bottom dwellers of Twitter right there. That's the bottom dwellers. You can't pay attention to their opinions.
But see, you know what? You're right, Gabe. But can I ask you something? How do I talk to my kids who spend so much time on Twitter? How do I talk to my brother who spends so much time on Twitter? When I was at the University of Memphis and still teaching, how did I talk to those kids who never even looked at me because they were on Twitter? I mean, damn. It's like you have a younger generation who is now not getting their news from NBC or MSNBC or ABC or Fox or whatever. And again, I don't blame them because you know what? I blame that on every single news organization for selling their soul for money. Instead of being honest to the citizens of America and doing what the Fourth Estate was set up to do, you sold your soul for money, man.
And not to mention just the amount of unverified information on these social medias nowadays.
It just ticks me off.
You can't decipher what's right, what's wrong, what's correct and incorrect at this point. Don't go on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, don't go on there.
If you want factual information, don't go on Facebook.
That's the last place that you ever need to go, ever, to find out the truth. But again, I just want to say one thing. Baseball, if you don't figure it out, you're screwed. Basketball, thank you so much for trying, but do it right. Football, keep on doing it. In the NCAA, I don't even know what to say about the NCAA, Gabe. Are you okay with where they're at, or are you confused?
I'm confused. There's a lot of things going on. They've
cut too many programs, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like all these things that they said they were going to do, the name, image, likeness, the one-time transfer rule, they're delaying it and using the coronavirus as an excuse as to why they're delaying it when in the reality of the situation, they could get this stuff done sooner than later. So, like, I'm in a weird spot. I think they're going to want to get back to some sort of new normal or normalcy before they even act on any of these things that they've been talking about over the past year or two. I want to see action with the NCAA, and that's not going to happen without somebody else forcing their hand.
I don't even think I could have said that better than you did. Good job. Wow, good job. I bring this also up to ask you another weird question. We're leaving a little bit of baseball. We're going to go over tonight, though, by the way, the 40-round marathon of baseball. That's moved down to 5 rounds. I want to ask you a simple question because I don't think most people in this world are going to pay any attention to it. But do you think that the dirtiest thing that could ever happen in sports would be a team to absolutely unequivocally punt so they didn't have to pay anybody?
I think it would be pretty gross, yes. But I've heard a lot of rumors about that happening.
RJ Anderson, again, I've been talking about him a lot. And by the way, I talked to RJ. He's been on the show.
I was going to say, friend of the show.
He's a friend of the show. We know RJ. RJ is extremely nice. He's all over the place. And he says that there is not one. He says he's talked with multiple front offices that feel like with a top 10 pick this year, they're going to punt it and they're going to draft somebody that they know will sign with their college football program so they don't have to give the $100,000 out. In fact, they say some teams, and listen to this, Detroit Tigers, Baltimore Orioles, Miami Marlins, Kansas City Royals, Toronto Blue Jays, Seattle Mariners, Pittsburgh Pirates, San Diego Padres, Colorado Rockies, and Los Angeles Angels only consider drafting 2 people. I want you to think about that. We went from 40-round marathon and $29.9 million. And you got, what was that? How many teams was that? Like, hold on, 1, 2.
I didn't count.
That was like 15 teams that are saying, hey, we're going to punt. We're going to draft a bunch of guys that we know are going to go to college because they don't want to. Like, you had an opportunity to get $100,000. That sounds like a lot, right? But the year before you were drafted, you could have gotten $6 million in the first round. Come on, man. I think it's crazy. And do you want to know the saddest part about this is? I read this and I honestly wanted to cry. So, Arizona State's hitting coach said this. The saddest thing that's about to happen is in the late rounds, they're going to draft the best seniors on baseball teams across the country. And do you know what they're going to do to them? Because they can't come back to college. They have no other valuable road to go. But they are the best of the best, and there's only 5 rounds. So after the rounds 2, they only have to give them a $20,000 signing bonus, and they make $20,000 a year for 4 years. Can you make a living like that? I can't. I know this. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way in hell I can pay my bills. I can't. I've worked so many jobs my life, from bartending on Beale Street to when I worked here with George Lapidus, and I worked at I bartended. I did everything. I rent out homes. You got to make it in this world, man. And if you have a family, and then you have billionaire owners who have made, I want to remind you, in 1 decade, 370% profit. The average owner has pocketed over here's what it says. All right, I just want to make sure I get the number right. The average owner has pocketed $1.852 billion. $1.852 billion. That's according to Forbes. And that's just the average. Again, some teams have made more. Maybe some teams have made less. But when you make an average of $1.8 billion and you can't give a kid $20,000 bonus, I love you, baseball. But don't think that I ain't going to give you the middle finger when I know that you're just screwing people. I've never been in my entire life more disappointed in a sport. In this 76-game season, with 75% of the prorated players' salary and all the BS that's going on, and Jeff Passan trying to kiss everybody's butt, and all the BS that the owners are trying to put out. It's like we forgot about how the Astros cheated us, forgot about how Cora cheated us and the Red Sox. Think about Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Think about the Dodgers. You got so many teams that could be so pissed off. And you got so many kids now in college who have worked their tail off, and they deserve to be drafted. And you go and you take a 40-round marathon to 5, and then you talk about, well, we need money. But then when you go up there and you look, honest to God, at how much money you've made over the last decade, if $1.8 billion isn't enough for you, I don't even know what to say to you. And the fact that David Price, yes, he makes a lot of money. The fact that he's paying the minor league salaries for some players. The fact that the Oakland Athletics had to come out there and say, I apologize. Did you know that they quit playing their minor league players?
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
I sure did.
I want you to think about that. Do you know that they have moms, they have dads, they have kids, they have wives, they have families? Could you imagine all of a sudden just not getting your paycheck because somebody screwed up? So again, out of all the sports, I'm saying, I think nobody is as corrupt as the NCAA. I think Major League Baseball Players Association and Tony Clark were strong as hell. But I have never seen anything like this year. And I know a global pandemic came in. But for 30 guys, or let's just say like the Los Angeles team, who has a huge conglomerate, got a bunch of rich dudes who have, again, $270 billion at their whim, and you take away the small person's amount of money, is what does that make you look like? It makes the one game that I love more than any look like the most selfish, egotistical.
And you just look at what they've done with the minor leagues.
Oh, minor
it
league.
is selfish, egotistic.
Your brother
again,
loves it.
you can't pull the roots out of baseball in this country and expect it to be as big as it once was.
Can I ask you something? Do you think I would love baseball without what happened to Tim McCarver?
Absolutely not.
Do you think that I would literally have any, almost bring me to tears when talking about, if I wasn't a 4 to 12-year-old kid who was a lunatic around Tim McCarver, and then also, Willow Park to go play ball, and just all
Again,
the
I was
things.
blessed. I grew up in a city where one of the 30 Major League Baseball
See,
teams
we didn't
was.
have
So
one.
I didn't have to worry about loving baseball. It was already part of the fabric of what St. Louis was. But in these small towns where all these
That's all you got, man.
all these, teams are, that's what they have as far as baseball. That's who they have to look up to. They live for the 5 games that Mike Trout is coming through their city.
You know what? I don't even think I've
And
ever
again,
said this on air.
why are they cutting these? Why are they cutting it? It's about money. It's about nothing else.
I told you about
it's straight money.
I did tell you about Miss Henderson, the woman that found out I couldn't read, right?
You briefly, yes.
Well, she's the one teacher I can honestly say, and Professor Vincent, who helped me get into journalism. But Miss Henderson probably had more influence on my life than any single teacher in history. I was a kid who dyslexic is the blink. I'm so dyslexic, it's not even funny. I'm also colorblind, but I'm really good with numbers, and I like talking to people, and I got a lot of energy. But there was a young woman who realized that I was a class clown, and I made it through 4th grade. And the 5th grade, and I couldn't even read. And Miss Henderson stopped me, and she's like, hey, quit being a clown, read this. And I couldn't read it. And then she helped me, and she changed my life. And basically what I'm trying to say is that you look around baseball and young people and coaches, they create adults. And I know that maybe this is hard for you to connect the dots and see what I'm trying to say to you, but it was not just my teachers or my coaches or baseball or sports, but it was the whole thing involved. And it was community. And I think that's what I'm trying to tell all of y'all is we need to get back to community. We need to get back to loving each other. A teacher who, Miss Henderson, by the way, and Miss Henderson, don't get mad at me if you're still alive. Biggest black woman I ever seen in my life, man. I was scared to death of her, but you know what? She hugged me and held me, and I cried my eyes out when she told me I couldn't. When she's like, I know you can't read. Like, good people can, I mean, it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you are, but what does matter is your neighborhood. Sports matter, people. We need them to come back. I need July to get here because I need basketball. I need Major League Baseball to stop being a bunch of a-holes and talking about money. When I look about it, every single owner on average had a 370% increase. And then they talk about the players being greedy. And then over the last decade, yes, they got a 40% increase in pay. That's still not 370%. I'm just saying, I'm not here to blame anybody. I'm looking for answers. I want somebody to tell me how we get back to normal. The coronavirus has absolutely decimated the country. George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, everybody that's sitting at home and watching all this stuff, it is like it's just a big flame, and all it's doing is it's separating us more and more. And all I'm asking all of us is to stop, love your neighbor, and remember who we are. We need championships more than anything. We need LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard and Giannis to fight in July for a championship. I want to see the Grizzlies try to hold on to the 8th spot. I want to see Major League Baseball come back and give me what I love, damn it. I want to play fantasy baseball. I want the NCAA. I want to talk about Trevor Lawrence and Dabo Swinney, and I want to talk about what's going on with Ohio State with Justin Fields, and what is Jim Harbaugh going to do at Michigan and over at USC now that Daniels is down here. What's going to go on with Georgia? Like, I want sports back so bad. I just can't even explain it to you. I just want a little bit of people to stop being so damn greedy. I don't want you to be a Democrat. I don't want you to be a Republican. I don't want you to be angry, and I don't want you to have hate in your heart. And I don't want you to listen to me like I am trying to tell you how to feel. I am literally begging you to give the kids back the world that we used to have. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. When I got up and when I was a child, I never was worried about tomorrow. I was just enjoying today. And I talk to kids today, and I have kids. And when my grandson asked me if he's next and he's going to be murdered, yeah, we got a problem. He should be asking me, when do I get to play baseball, Granddaddy? When do I get to go and play ball again? Not is a cop going to kill me. So what I'm just trying to say is, please stop fighting, wake the hell up, and realize that sports are something that we all come around, but it's not something to come around just for one moment in time. If we really want to make any difference, when we leave the stadiums, we go back to our places and we all love each other. Figure it out. I hope you do. And I also hope you remember Sears of a heart attack. 901-406-1101. My buddy Bill at I Buy Houses, you know what he's going to do? He's going to buy any house, any area as is. He don't even care if you like baseball or football. He just knows that he needs to sell you a house. And guess what? You need to sell your house. And guess what? He's going to buy it. He's going to fix it up. He's going to make some money. But guess what? You're going to get your money in 5 days. Guaranteed. You don't have to cut your grass. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do, 901-406-1101. You call Bill at I Buy Houses. I promise you, bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. If you're sick of renters, if you're just sick and tired of the life you live in, or if you're moving on up, just like George back in the day, and you want a big old beautiful house, but you know what you need? You need that down payment. 901-406-1101. And if your house has been on the market for longer than a month, please do me a favor. Stop. 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Dem Houses. And also remember one thing. Don't you dare touch that dial. Coming up next, we're about to laugh our tail off. We got Titans news, we got funny stuff, and I'm going to get lighthearted as all get out on Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Central Barbecue is committed to the health and safety of this community, who has supported Central for almost 20 years. Central Barbecue is still open for business with to-go and delivery options to serve the greater Memphis area with the same great barbecue you have come to know and love. With 4 locations to serve you, from downtown, midtown, and East Memphis, you can order your favorite barbecue and enjoy everything on the menu in the comfort of your own home. Call your nearest Central Barbecue location for more information on delivery and to-go options today.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here!
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
And yes, sir, yo. And I want to say thank you for coming back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. And I want to tell you something. I'm going to talk to my man Dan in just 1 second. But before I do that, we're going to go to Hardwood after Dan. But I do want to remind y'all something that is very, very important. And I'm not joking about this. This is something that out of all of us we know, convalescent plasma, blood. Again, I mean, I don't think I talk much about it, but heck, I just beat cancer, so I'm pretty strong, pretty happy. I can't give my blood. They won't take my plasma. They're like, nah, sorry, homie. But if you're healthy, if you beat COVID-19, like right now, like you can save people's lives like my sorry self, you know? Hey, you might not want to, but hey, you can. But people out there who are struggling, I'm dead serious, and I mean this with all my heart. Your time, you're going to be compensated. Like they pay you very, very well. But if you just call 866 END-CV19. That's 866-END-CV19. 866-END-CV19. I can promise you one thing. You're not going to help save a life. If you saw the lady, did you see the lady in Memphis come out today? The first woman who was, she recovered after 2 weeks on a respirator and convalescent plasma saved her life. If you want to be that person who can save a person's life, I'm serious as a heart attack. Please just call 866-END-CV19. And then the weird thing is, you're going to feel great about what you did and you're going to save another human. And then they pay you for your time. It's like, it's a win-win. Now, before I get to Hardwood, my friend Dan's called in. Hey, Dan, how's life treating you?
Yeah, good. I have no complaints, believe me.
Oh, you're so kind. Hey,
What?
Dan, before you get into what you want to say, though, I do know where you work. You want to give a shout-out?
Yeah. Hot graphics.
I love
owe
hot
you guys,
graphics.
I owe you guys some planners. It's only halfway through the year.
But
I couldn't get in the building. Anyhow, I was going to agree with Gabe. I grew up in Chicago, so I not only had the Cubs, I had the White Sox too. And all we did was play baseball. I played minor league, which was when you're 5 years old,
Yep.
and then you graduate to Little League, and then Babe Ruth League, and then senior Babe Ruth League. It was part of the fiber of my life. We played when we weren't playing our league play. We were on our bikes. We were playing home run derby. We were playing baseball all the time, and I think it's sad to see the kids have to suffer for this. I think it's just a wake up call for all of us. I don't. My dad instilled that love of the game in me, and it's sad to see these guys. We've turned into a bunch of prima donnas, and the owners are greedy, and the players are greedy, and it just stinks.
It does, and it does. And by the way, is we've got to get back to where money is not the money is just it's just something. People they're the ones that matter. You know what I mean? And,
I agree with you, and I wouldn't. Baseball was such a big part of what built my character, what my dad instilled in me, and the team concept, and that you're not bigger than the whole.
Correct.
And I think that's like life. When we start thinking that we got it figured out and we're not humble, these times will just, if they don't wake you up, you're really not paying attention.
You know what, Dan? I got to say something. Thank you so much for calling in, and I do hope that a lot of people out there who might not be able to hear my voice because they're angry or agitated with me, I hope they heard your voice because it was very calm, it was very cool, it was very collective, and it was very honest. Love you, Dan.
Love you guys. Have a good game. Have a good day.
Hey, you too, brother. I wish we were having a good game. I know Gabe wants to play. I wish I can play, but I don't want anybody to see me play no more. Hey, Gabe, do me a favor. Will you do me a favor? Strike the band.
This is Access Hard and Wood.
Man,
that was a good call by Dan, man.
Yeah, you can tell he was emotional.
That's the first organized sport I ever played, man. It taught me lessons about everything else I ended up playing later, and that's just that's what baseball is in America, was, and I think they're towing this line of becoming almost anonymous. Like they're towing this line of, like, growing up, Albert Pujols, that's a hero, right?
Yes.
I didn't know what I knew about Jim Edmonds, but Jim Edmonds was a beast. Mike Matheny was behind the plate for the Cardinals. Mark McGwire was hitting 63 bombs in a year. Like these were things that used to be so prevalent, and now I just don't know if people are going to watch the sport or enjoy the sport to the level that we have in the past, and it's sad.
And you know what also breaks my heart is we get into this point where I'm going to attack my profession. I'm going to tell you right now. I've attacked my profession. You've seen me on Twitter. I think certain journalists are absolute BS. Look, I don't give a damn. I got my master's. I know where my degree came from. I understand ethics. And I don't go out there and I don't just do I got you journalism like, what's his name, Acosta or whatever, or the people on the other side. What I'm trying to say is if you really want to tell a story and if you really want to be felt, like, just be honest. Like, it's not about, like, the truth. Why has the truth become so hard to tell? Like, honestly, Gabe, what happened?
We got to a point where we were sort of divided, and people searched what they wanted to. What
You
they
can
wanted
find
to
your
think.
own truth.
Again, you can find your own truth.
The world isn't
anywhere.
flat, people.
You brought up, what was it, a couple weeks ago? You said that. I found this article that that marijuana helps with COVID-19.
Yes.
You can find information like that if you want.
Dude, I got an
It's
article the
there.
other day that says if I smoke less marijuana, I'll get higher. Dude, I don't even believe that because I've never ever.
Want to know something that is truth, though?
Okay.
Want to know something that is truth that was actually reported on? Fight Island's real.
Fight
UFC.
Island is real. And by the way,
And also, they're
Dhabi-
trending in the opposite direction of the MLB. They're
Abu
going
Dhabi?
directly up. It's in Abu Dhabi, man, United Arab Emirates. It's going to sort of promote some of the international athletes. That's the whole thought because of the travel restrictions with coronavirus. They're going to, supposedly, according to Dana White, the commissioner of UFC.
Dude, it's going to be dope.
They're going to have next month, starting with UFC 251, which is a pay-per-view. We just got done with 250.
Yes, we did. I won
They're going to
550,
have,
by the way, in 250.
yeah, heck yeah. They have 4 different cards that they're going to have. The first one, obviously, 251, July 11th, and they're going to have one July 15th, 18th, and then 25th. That's a lot of fights right there in a row.
I think the Fight Island thing, and again, I kind of brought this up a little bit. This is what I'm trying to say. Can you believe that I'm about to tell you this? A sport that 3 years ago I was wanting the girls to quit fighting and kiss. When
Well,
they
there
came
was
out
people. There are people that still compare it to this
hated
day as human chicken or cockfighting.
Cockfighting, yes. Human cockfighting. Like, dude, what was it that Michael Vick got in trouble for? The dog fighting?
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing. It's just, it seems barbaric. But.
Seemed, in my opinion.
Thank you. Oh, my God. You hit exactly what I was about to say. I thought it was the worst of the worst. And guess what? I've been stuck for now 90 days. Sitting at home watching crummy golf with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, who splits his butthole pants when he bends over to pick up his ball. By the way, he's the worst golfer. I'm better than Tom Brady on any day. And I
am going to go ahead and probably say that statement that you just made is probably false.
That I'm better than him?
You're better than Tom Brady at golf.
With my women's golf clubs, my grandmothers that are from like 1967, I will beat Tom Brady. I'm serious.
I want to try to
he's
make this
sorry.
happen now.
Dude, we'll
I'm
make
not
this.
buying it, man. I don't know what it
take you out
is.
there
What's
and
your
beat
handicap?
Tony.
What's your handicap?
I don't even have it. I've never even played like 20 rounds.
So
But I've
you
been
think
in
you
some
can beat
tournaments.
Tom Brady?
Man, I went out there and beat a few people who
Okay.
thought they were
All
really
right.
good.
All right.
So, hey. And by the way, I don't know why, I put it in the hole really well. Like, I can just something about the ball and just
I can just read those greens. I can just read those greens, the
I can
curves of
read
the
those
greens.
suckers, dog. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. I kill me. But I do want to give some love to Rob. Like, I can't even laugh. I am trying not to cry. Yeah, I'm laughing so hard. But Rob Gronkowski, we've been talking about all kinds of great stuff. Did you hear what he did about the football equipment?
No.
Oh,
God.
you haven't heard
What'd he
about this?
do, man?
No, this is great. No. He did a good thing.
It's a good thing, okay.
No. So Blake High School, they had $15,000 worth of all of their everything destroyed. Their entire budget for the 2020 season was gone. And guess what the Yellow Jackets were going to do? They were going to basically cancel their season. All these kids, could you imagine, like, you're a senior in high school, okay? You can't play football, but you had played your freshman, your sophomore, and your junior year. And now you can't play because there was a fire that destroyed all of your equipment. And then COVID-19, and people can't get money, and we don't even know if we're going to play. And then you got a dude like Rob Gronkowski who hears about it. And let's just be honest with you. Gronk is Gronk. Gronk is funny. But damn it, when Gronk comes up and opens up a youth foundation and basically gives them $30,000 when they only needed $15,000, can I say, Gronk, you're really you might be a goofball, but you're a damn good dude, and your heart's in the right place. And think
Beautiful
about
job.
No, I have to say, in all honesty, I think this is one of the nicest things because, again, I am always going to be about this. We're adults. Gabe, we're adults. We got to deal with what we have. And I hate to say this, my dad gets mad at me. In fact, a lot of people older than me get mad at me. I've always gone back to this. Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin. The measure of a man is if he can look in the mirror, and by the way, they said it, 35? Again, we live older. But if you can guarantee that your children are going to have a better life than yours, then you did a good job. Gronk is trying his damnedest to make sure that happens. Do you see what I'm saying? But there have been so many people who have failed us. Right now, we have $1.5 trillion in student debt. We have so many people who don't have jobs. We have 41 million Americans on unemployment. There is a huge problem, but we still have good guys who are out there trying their best to make things better. And remember, this is the United States of America. We're going to come out on top. I can guarantee you that. Now, Gronk, you're a baller, and I love you. Dana White, Fight Island, I love you. But Devin Booker, can I just give you the PIMP? Can I just say, I want to be Devin Booker? Like, I want to be like Mother Teresa and maybe Gandhi or Mandela. You know, I would like to be remembered for doing something great. But you know, when you go out with Kendall Jenner, that's kind of being remembered for something great too, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's right. Do y'all know the place Nobu? It's like the most expensive place in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know about Nobu.
Do you know who took Kendall Jenner to Nobu last night?
Let me assume it's Devin Booker.
It was Devin Booker. Now, can I ask you a question? Does Nobu get you boo-boo from Kendall Jenner?
I would assume yes.
I would hope so, because that's an expensive damn restaurant. Dude, I looked it up. Do you know how much like an average meal at Nobu is? Like they don't have no.
And they're small. They're probably one of those frou-frou small plate places too.
100%,
right?
They don't have the prices on the menu.
Oh, that's how expensive it is. Okay.
That's how expensive. So when you don't have the prices and it says market price,
you have
I just want you to know that when the person brings over, I think they just write, "Hey, $15,000 because you're rich," or
no. You walk in,
they
walk in, they make you put down a security deposit on what you're about to eat.
Oh, it's so horrible, but it's so true. And again.
But again, how come? Okay, with places like that, it always seems like they give you the frou-frou portions, like tiny little plates.
They do.
Does that bother you too? Like I like the manly, big.
It bothers me.
Good portions.
And you know,
I want to be full. I want to be
much.
satisfied. If I'm eating at a meal
I can drink
that's
a lot,
that
though.
Nice. If it's I wonder how much the drinks are at Nobu.
Dude, can you imagine?
Lord.
I bet. What do you think? $60 a pop?
Maybe, yeah, probably around there.
Dude, they don't even put their dick
Probably
down.
around there.
Like, I bet you $1 million you can probably get like I want a spinach salad. $700. But anyway, I just had to bring that up because I do want to say in all the times that we live out there, if we don't talk about the Kardashians, how are we not having a good life?
So, well, I mean, especially with the NBA. The NBA and Kardashians is like, that's almost synonymous at this point.
Now, I got a question for you. Last but not least, and then I'm going to get off of this because I'm going to get to my last segment. Do you think that there are more teams that know a Kardashian or less teams? And I mean no Kardashians. I did a little bitty thing the other night, and I wrote down.
All right.
I found 17 teams that have dated a Kardashian.
So it's more.
So it is more.
So yeah, the majority of teams in the NBA have a. I don't even know how to term that. How do you term that? Like
I would call that
a former
you're
boyfriend,
an Eskimo brother from the Kardashians.
Okay. All right. Now, did you see what the NBA? Did you see what the NBA? I want to ask: is this a smart or a not smart move by the NBA? They are going to be PED testing in the bubble, but they will not be testing for recreational drugs.
Very smart, very smart, very smart. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you a secret. It takes 30 days to get marijuana out of your system. If you think that these players that play in basketball haven't been smoking pot like it's going out of style, where the hell? Why do you think they are in Colorado and Washington and Portland and D.C. and all these states? You're like, why is James Harden, who lives in Houston, in Washington, D.C.? Or why is this dude in Massachusetts? Well, guess what? Because that's where pot is legal. And let me tell you a secret. You wouldn't have gotten 25% of the league to pass the drug test for marijuana, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But I honestly believe that at least 75% of NBA players smoke pot. Now, you can say, John, why would you think that? John, you might sound even racist. No, it has nothing to do with black or white people. I think 95% of white people smoke pot, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm trying to think. There's only one person I know that doesn't smoke pot that's white. That's Eli. That's it. Oh, wait, Gaston, too. But that's it. Oh, wait, Peter. I forgot about Peter. Oh, well, okay. So everybody that works here, but everybody else I know smokes pot. I'm just going to be honest. I'm probably in trouble after this one. I think we probably need to get a break. But I will tell you something. Again, this is Hardwood. We make you feel so good, and we do love you, and we always want you to remember one simple thing. Gatlin, Memphis Farmers. My buddy Chad, that's memphisfarmers.com. And by the way, he won't drug test you. Just get your stuff done and get it done today. memphisfarmers.com. Check out my buddy Chad Gatlin. This is Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hurts. Weekdays from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Hi, it's The Herd. We're all faced with new challenges these days. If you need legal help for yours, trust LegalZoom. You want to set up a will, maybe a living trust? How about starting a business as a DBA or an LLC? LegalZoom can help there too. You can start online. Their network of attorneys can provide advice when you need it. And since LegalZoom is not a law firm, you don't get charged by the hour. Visit LegalZoom.com for more information. Their site has it all. Trust LegalZoom.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. How old is your water heater? With most of the water heaters in the Mid-South located in the attic, the worst day you can replace your water heater is one day too late. It may be time for a tankless water heater from Conway Services that never runs out of hot water. Plus, these energy-saving models only heat the water you use, saving you money on your gas bill every month. Most 10-year-old water heaters were about 65% efficient when they were new, compared to a tankless water heater from Conway Services is up to 98% efficient. Plus, right now, get your tankless water heater from Conway Services for as low as $79 per month. Or I'll give you $300 for that old tank water heater. And no more worrying about that tank bursting in your attic either. And with over 8,000 5-star reviews, you know Google guaranteed Conway Services will be providing that award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier tankless water heater professionals at 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old water heater will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
For 95 years, Saia LTL Freight has hit the road to deliver the goods that keep businesses and communities moving. Now, in this uncertain time, we won't stop going that extra mile, because at the end of the day, we are all in this together for the long haul. Saia LTL Freight, driving stability, safety, support, and strength. Visit Saia.com. That's SAIA.com.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Hi, I'm Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. Do you have any idea why I never speak the way I am right now? It's because if you're honest, sincere, and knowledgeable, you do not need fast-talking, high-energy, gimmick-promising advertising to get a customer's attention. Speaking of that, how do you think companies can offer huge rebates and giveaways when you use their services or buy their products? By overcharging you in the first place, that's how. Fiveash Roofing doesn't operate that way. It's misleading and dishonest. When I provide a customer with the best products and the best service possible and do it at a fair price, why would I need gimmicks to sell it? Best products, best warranties, and best service possible. That's all we offer. Well, that and financing. Fiveash Roofing, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Light me up like a Christmas tree and let's make a big old bet. Are y'all ready? I got a huge bet for you. Are you ready? Who's going to be the number one draft pick tonight? If anybody thinks that it's not going to be Spencer Tolkien, and if you hit me up at 67129 and you're absolutely right, guess what I'll do? Not really anything, but send you a congratulations, you were right. But guess what? I doubt that there's anybody in this world that knows anything about Major League Baseball. And as much as maybe like Kenny Mayne and the owners and all those people, or me, maybe even me. But what I'm saying is tonight, we're about to have the most uncelebrated draft in, I think, the history of sports. It's been taken from 40 rounds to 5. It's going to be a joke, and so many people are losing so much money. It's absolutely ignorant. Now, I'll also have to say, I got to ask Gabe Kuhn this right now because I got a text that said, and I just want to know Gabe's feelings right now. It says, do you think Maryland, because they have a Tagovailoa, do you think that Loxley has a chance to make them a contender against the Dabo Swinney and the great Clemson power that they are?
This is a serious question.
This is hey, it was
Who
sent to me.
Who sent it? Who sent this in? Greg Gaston punking me right now.
What's going on? Is this happening today? Dude, no, he said he does also mention FSU.
Okay.
He says FSU or Maryland, and to be honest with you, I'm sorry.
Maryland, no. Maryland has no chance.
No chance?
They had a guy named Josh Jackson, or not.
That's a good point.
Is it Josh Jackson? I can't remember his name, but it was a transfer from Virginia Tech who they thought was going to step in and be a good player. They were ranked at one point last year, but they stunk. They ended up stinking. So Maryland, absolutely not. Florida State, we'll see. We'll see. You give Mike Norvell a couple years of recruiting. Hopefully this thing that happened, last week doesn't stay around for too long.
By the way,
I think
it was
he has a
Josh
chance.
Jackson.
Yeah, Josh Jackson. Well, I was right. Nice.
I couldn't remember.
But Florida State, I mean, if Mike Norvell can recruit and stay around and get over what happened last week, I think they'll be fine. Are they going to have Clemson, run for the ACC with Clemson? I don't believe so. Not off the top. I think it's going to take some years, but Florida State certainly is more of a contender in college football than Maryland.
Florida
where'd
State,
the Maryland come from? Where'd the Maryland come from?
I just wanted to bring up because of Tua, his brother.
Or Talia.
Talia. I say Tua Tagovailoa, little brother. That's how I do it. Because now Talia is hard for me just to even remember because of my short-term memory loss because of this thing called pot that we're going to talk about. Now, we had a small talk about this in the last segment, and I wanted to bring this back up because it's very, very important to me. Anthony Rizzo, if he lost 40 pounds, would you want to get him on pot? Anthony Rizzo, a 6'3", 240-pound first baseman for the Chicago Cubs, is coming in.
I did not follow that question.
He is 6'3", 200 pounds. They said they have put on 20 pounds in the last 6 weeks because he had lost going into this year 40 pounds. He wasn't smoking pot, right? Who loses 40 pounds? What was he doing? I'm just curious, and I'm being honest with you when I ask you this. Anthony Rizzo went from being a big first baseman with a huge head. He had cancer back in the day and beat it. Had a lot of trouble in San Diego. But when he came to the Cubs, he was the baller shot caller. You know what I'm saying? How is it that a man can lose 40 pounds and if he's not sick? I know he looks like he's ripped, but is that what you want for your first baseman?
No. Unless it was really hindering him from doing his normal duties.
I don't know, dude. 6'3", 240 feels pretty healthy, doesn't it, Gabe?
Yeah.
Feels pretty healthy to me. I think he should have stayed there. I will tell you one thing. If baseball ever gets back on, the one person I will always look at is going to be this year's Anthony Rizzo and what he becomes if we actually play this baseball season. I pray we do, but you know what? Wolo and Stats, they're coming up next. And I'll always say, whatever you do, get out there. Make this world a better place. Remember, I'll see y'all on the flip side. For me and Gabe Kuhn, peace!
Blood and plasma donations are more important than ever. People all around the world still